Hello everyone, it's Laura here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to make a cute Christmas scene card using stamps by My Favorite Things as well as some pattern paper by Lawn Fawn. As a first step, I stamped all my images on some Nina Solar White cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I used 3 different stamp sets all by My Favorite Things. The 3 comes from the Happy Holidays stamp set, which was released this year. The stack of presents comes from the Santa's Helps stamp set, and the rest of the images are from the Our Story stamp set, which was released last year. And if you are curious about the list of supplies I used for this card, they will all be listed in my blog post, which will be linked in the description box below this video, so you can check that out. I am coloring my images with my Spectrum Noir markers and shading everything as if the light comes from the top right corner, so that the darkest shadows will be on the bottom left of the images. And I picked the colors according to the color scheme on the Doodle Bug Milk and Cookies paper pad, although I won't be using actually that pattern paper on this card, but you know, pattern papers are always very helpful when you want to pick a color palette, because they, you know, the job is done and you just have to match your markers with the palette of the pattern paper. So that's what I did for today's card. And I kept the coloring relatively simple. I mostly used 3, maximum 4 shades per color, and as I said, I shaded everything as if the light source comes from the top right. And I think at this point I will just leave you with some music to watch me color all the images. I will write on screen the moment at which you can skip in case you don't want to watch me color, and I'll catch you guys when it's time to assemble the card. For the background of my scene, I cut a piece of Canson XL watercolor cardstock using a die by Studio Katia. This cuts directly to an A2 size, so 4¼ by 5½ inches, and it also adds a nice dotted detail all around, which I think gives a pretty finished touch to your cards. And now I am adding some color using Distress Oxide in Fossilized Amber. I also added some water splashes to my background using a paintbrush, and I'm dabbing off the excess with a clean paper towel. And now I can go ahead and assemble everything. For the floor, I used one of the papers in the Lawn Fawn Knock on Wood paper pad. I cut it first with the same Studio Katia die, and then I trimmed off roughly a 1-inch strip, or maybe 3/4 inch strip, using my guillotine trimmer. And I did this so that the dotted detail on my card base would look continuous. And now I can go ahead and actually add all the elements to my scene. For this purpose, I like to use liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of room to move things around and position them exactly as you want. Like you see me doing here with this little chest of drawers. And I also like to play with the arrangement of the images beforehand, because even if I have something in mind, it's always, I think, nice to try different things, because maybe you'll find an arrangement that you hadn't thought about but looks even nicer than what you had originally planned. And while I am adhering everything, I am making sure to leave the center of my background free, because that's where I will be stamping my sentiment in a few moments, in video time at least. And to do that, I'll be using my mini Misty, so I am using some magnets to secure my card base to the base of the Misty, and I'm stamping this "You're the Best Chapter of My Life" sentiment using VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. And because this is a Christmas card, I had to add some glitter with my Spectrum Noir clear overlay pen. And I am also fixing some areas where I had colored outside the lines with a white gel pen. And here I'm just fixing this little book which had not stamped perfectly using a black pencil. And finally I'm adding some droplets with my Nuvo drops. This is the White Blizzard, I think it's the clear glitter one. I then stamped this Merry Christmas sentiment on the inside of the card, and for the stack of presents that you see me stamping right now, I actually changed things up a little bit. So I stamped them on some Nina Solar white cardstock, colored them as I have already done on the front of my card, and then glued them on top of the stamped image. And that's it. That's my card for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If so, please let me know in the comments below. Leave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can visit my blog for the full list of supplies, and I hope I'll be back soon with another video. Ciao!